Welcome to Turn Riding Fear Around podcast. Simple methods to overcome fear and start riding again. I'm Elise Hittinger, and I'm the host for your journey to courage. This is episode 105, Lead Mare versus Low on the Totem Pole. This, when I was watching my herd, I've got three horses. Binky is very dominant. Michelle's middle of the road, and Teka's just a quiet observer. And what I noticed about this is that Binky, even though she's definitely lead mare and everybody moves out of her way, Teka is the smart one. Teka really thinks about things. If a tree falls down in the pasture, she's the one that goes up and investigates it, makes sure it's safe. So even though Binky outwardly is lead, Teka's kind of the calm master that leads from behind the scenes. And what I really found interesting about this is the dynamics change in different situations. And the number one thing that I think is useful, especially for us that have a little anxiety or fear around horses and with our horses, and even riding our horses, the number one thing is if we can learn to be lead mare. And that doesn't mean getting angry, that doesn't mean being abusive. It means that you walk in power. As you walk, the horses move out of your way. And because we can't pin our ears back and we can't swish our tail, when I'm first doing this with my horses, I do use a flag. I use a dressage whip. I put a flag on the bottom of it, and I keep the flag just down by my feet as I'm walking around. Kind of just like a horse with their tail just hanging and their ears just neutral. And then as I'm walking, if the horses aren't paying attention to me, I'll be 10, 15 feet away from them as I'm walking. I do not change my path. I don't intentionally walk so that they have to move. But if I'm walking and they're in the way, about 10 to 15 feet away, I'll start swishing that flag just along the ground if they aren't paying attention. If they pay attention, then I don't do that and unless they don't move. As I get a little bit closer, if they're not moving out of my way, I swish that flag just like a horse swishing the tail and pinning their ears. And it took me a while to really figure this out and get the rhythm down with it, but it's made a huge difference. I mean, now I just raise my hands slightly and those horses move out of my way. Nothing mean, nothing bad, but I will tell you, if they don't move after I've moved the flag and swished the flag around a little bit, I go after them. And that's exactly what Binky does. If they don't move out of her way by the time she gets there, she either is biting them, like ripping skin off, or she's kicking. And and we are not horses, so we don't think that way. It's not wired in us that way, but we can become the lead mare. Takes a little bit of work, takes a little bit of adjustment in how we think, but we are so much safer when that happens. And what I've noticed is riding. When I'm lead mare on the ground, my riding is so much better. They really are focused on me. What do you want? Where do you want to go? What do you want? Where do you want to go? The second thing, and a lot of us are being humans, we want our horses to look at us. We want our horses to engage with us. But watching my horses, my two that are not dominant, when Binky comes around them, they turn their heads away. They do not turn their heads and look like, oh, hi, you're my friend. They're looking away like, oh, sorry, I'll get out of your way. And I think we, as humans, take that personally. Whereas if we just recognize it as the horse giving us our respect as lead, it changes things in how we feel about it. Because the problem isn't with the horses, the problem's with how we feel. When a horse turns away from us and we internalize that as, oh, I feel so bad. Oh, my horse doesn't look at me. When actually our horse is saying, okay, I give, you're in charge. Doesn't mean when we're grooming and stuff, we can't cuddle with them and snuggle with them, but really, we're always training our horses, and we are either the leader or we're not the leader. The third thing that I really learned was there are no mistakes. Like when Binky kicked my other horse over on top of me twice, she didn't go, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to kick you over. She just went on about her business. She didn't even notice. And I think sometimes we take it, I think we can be much more aggressive and calm when we need to be until we get things figured out. And if we react too hard on a horse, just recognize that that was a little bit too much. But I can tell you, horses don't recognize that was too much, ever. Now, my lead mare doesn't go kicking them around every day, and most of the time she's fine with them. And she actually hasn't done it since I've really stepped up and become lead. But all I'm saying is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to really move your horse out of your way. And if that means whacking them a little bit, let me tell you, it's a lot less than being kicked by another horse or bit, full on bit. Us snapping them with a whip once in a while, and trust me, I don't ever intend to snap them, but I have. I have gone to wave the flag aggressively and I've smacked them on the butt. Um, it was like, okay, that was a little too much, but I didn't have to get upset about it. And I didn't have to worry about making a mistake. I think once we take away the worry of making a mistake, it really helps free us up to just practice. Practice being lead mare. Practice having the other ones be lower on the totem pole than us. Practice it. And if you make some mistakes, oh well, they're not going to notice. Next time you come around, just be a little bit more consistent. But I can tell you, they're not that consistent. So give yourself a break. Pat yourself on the back. You're doing the best job you can, and do whatever it takes for you to find your courage, find your confidence, because that will change the whole dynamics with your horses and other horses in the herd too. I know if you're in a boarding situation, you sometimes have to be even more confident and more courageous because some of the other horses don't have the knowledge that you're going to help them get. So, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about human versus horses and just kind of reset back to where we're not afraid to be ourselves, I'd love to have a chat about hypnotherapy. Reset hypnotherapy has been huge for me. It just takes me back to a time when I was okay. I didn't have all this baggage built up, and I can help you get there. So if you'd like to have a chat about it, I'll put a link in the description. Hope you guys have an amazing day. See you.